He was known as the Angel of Death, a chilling moniker, a terrifying truth. Donald Harvey, a name whispered with fear and disgust. He haunted hospitals, a spectre in scrubs, a bringer of death disguised as a healer, his victims, the vulnerable, the sick, the trusting souls in his care. Harvey claimed 37 lives. Some believe the true number is far higher, a chilling thought that sends shivers down the spine. His killing spree spanned nearly 2 decades, from 1970 to 1987. A reign of terror cloaked in the mundane routine of hospitals and nursing homes. He moved through the medical world like a phantom, unseen, undetected, leaving a trail of grief and unanswered questions in his wake. His victims, often already close to death, met their end under his care. His crimes, a macabre testament to the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of normalcy. A stark reminder that evil can wear many faces, even the mask of compassion. Donald Harvey was unremarkable, ordinary in appearance. He blended into the background of busy hospitals. No one suspected the evil he harbored. He worked as a nurse's aide, a position of trust, a position he would exploit with chilling efficiency. His career began in 1970. He moved from hospital to hospital, a new hunting ground each time. Ohio and Kentucky became his killing fields. He preyed on the weak and the vulnerable, patients already grappling with illness. His colleagues found him quiet, unassuming, yet beneath the facade of normalcy, a darkness festered. He was a predator in plain sight, a wolf in sheep's clothing. His victims, often elderly or critically ill, stood little chance. They were trapped, their lives in his hands. His method, insidious and silent, poison, a weapon he wielded with terrifying precision. Poison became his instrument of death, a silent killer. Undetectable to the untrained eye, arsenic, cyanide, insulin, lethal substances readily available within the hospital walls. He knew their effects. He understood the dosages, a chilling knowledge that he used to satisfy his dark desires. Arsenic, a slow and agonizing death. Cyanide, swift and merciless. Insulin, manipulating the body's own systems to deadly effect. He experimented with different poisons, each death a macabre experiment in his twisted game. He poisoned patients' food, their drinks, their IV drips. He became a master of deception. His colleagues, oblivious to his true nature, they attributed the deaths to natural causes. He was cunning, he was meticulous, he left no trace. The hospitals, places of healing, became his personal abattoirs, the smell of disinfectant, a grim reminder of the horrors he inflicted. He played God, deciding who lived and who died. His victims, pawns in his twisted game. What drove Donald Harvey to kill? What dark impulses lurked within his soul? He claimed he acted out of mercy, a twisted sense of compassion. He believed he was easing the suffering of his victims, a chilling rationalization for his horrific crimes. "I wanted to help people die better," he once said. His words sent chills down the spines of investigators, a chilling glimpse into the mind of a monster. Did he believe his own lies? Or was it a desperate attempt to justify the unjustifiable? Some experts believe he enjoyed the power, the control over life and death, the ability to decide who lived and who died, a god complex fueled by his position of authority. He was the ultimate arbiter of fate within the hospital walls. Others speculate he derived a sadistic pleasure from his crimes, the suffering of his victims, a source of twisted satisfaction. Whatever his motivations, one thing is certain: Donald Harvey was a monster, a predator hiding in plain sight. Section 5. Unmasking the Angel. For years, Donald Harvey operated with impunity, his crimes undetected, his victims silenced. But his reign of terror could not last forever. In 1987, his luck ran out. A suspicious death at Drake Hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio, raised alarm bells. The victim, John Powell, had died under suspicious circumstances. An autopsy revealed the presence of cyanide in his system. The authorities began to investigate. Their suspicions fell on Donald Harvey. Harvey was brought in for questioning. At first, he denied everything, but the evidence against him was mounting. Finally, he confessed. His confession sent shockwaves through the community. The angel of death had been unmasked. The public was horrified. How could someone entrusted with caring for the sick commit such heinous acts? The betrayal of trust was profound, the sense of violation palpable. Section 6. Justice but no peace. Donald Harvey's trial was a media sensation. The courtroom was packed with reporters, eager to document every detail of the case. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence against him, medical records, witness testimonies, and Harvey's own chilling confession. He was charged with multiple counts of murder. The jury found him guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Justice had been served, but it could not bring back the lives he had taken. The families of his victims were left to grapple with their grief and anger. Many felt betrayed by the hospitals that had employed Harvey. How could this have been allowed to happen? Where were the safeguards? The questions lingered long after the trial had ended. Harvey's crimes cast a long shadow over the medical profession. They served as a stark reminder of the potential for evil, even in the most trusted of institutions. Section 7. Echoes of Horror. The story of Donald Harvey continues to haunt us. His crimes, a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk within the human heart. True crime documentaries and podcasts continue to explore his case, seeking to understand the mind of a killer. Books have been written about him, delving into his psyche and the events that shaped his life. Each attempt to comprehend his actions only deepens the mystery surrounding him. Was he born evil, or was he a product of his environment? Some experts believe his troubled childhood played a role in his crimes. Others point to his history of mental illness as a contributing factor. Whatever the cause, his legacy remains one of pain, suffering, and unanswered questions. The families of his victims still search for answers, for closure. They live with the knowledge that their loved ones died at the hands of a monster. Their pain is a constant reminder of the devastating impact of Harvey's crimes. Section 8. The Mind of a Monster. Psychiatrists and criminologists have spent years trying to unravel the enigma that was Donald Harvey's mind. Some believe he was a psychopath, lacking empathy and remorse. Others diagnose him as a sociopath, capable of blending in with society but lacking a moral compass. His calm demeanor throughout his trial and subsequent interviews only deepened the mystery. He showed little emotion, even when confronted with the horrific details of his crimes. Was this a sign of true remorselessness, or a calculated facade to conceal his true nature? Some experts point to his fascination with death, evident in his choice of reading material and his morbid curiosity about anatomy, as evidence of a deeply disturbed individual. Others speculate that he may have suffered from Munchausen syndrome by proxy, deriving satisfaction from controlling and harming others under the guise of caregiving. Despite years of study and analysis, a definitive understanding of what drove Donald Harvey to kill remains elusive. He took his secrets to the grave, leaving behind a legacy of fear, pain, and unanswered questions. Section 9. A Legacy of Fear. Donald Harvey's crimes left an indelible mark on the American psyche. His case shattered the illusion of safety in hospitals, reminding us that evil can lurk even in places meant for healing. His story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder to be vigilant and to question those in positions of power. The case also sparked a national conversation about the ethics of end-of-life care and the dangers of unchecked authority in healthcare settings. It led to stricter background checks for healthcare workers and increased awareness of patient safety protocols. Though Donald Harvey is gone, his legacy of fear endures. His name continues to send chills down the spines of those who remember his reign of terror. His story serves as a chilling reminder that monsters can wear many faces, and even in the sterile halls of a hospital, evil can lurk in the shadows.